Hello, Dylan. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join me for this interview. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Rokas. Are you?
I'm great. So, this is a unique case. I didn't see a win from a wins channel from you. I actually got recommended you by TJ Cunningham, one of the professors in the real world. And the reason was because of a business you built up due to the skills you've learned from the real world. And I believe you said that is generating you £4,000 to £8,000 per month. Is
Yep,
that
that's
correct?
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's something we'll get into a bit later on in the interview. For now, I'd like to hear your backstory. So, what was your life like before joining the real world?
Okay, so a little bit of background on me. I'm a carpenter and joiner of over 12 years now, coming up to. I've done it all my life. It's all I've known, really. And prior to joining, it was Hustles University when I joined. Life was good. It was okay, but I knew it could be better. And I knew there was other things that I could do to improve my life. So it was okay. It was good, but it can always be better.
hmm And could you go more in depth on how you found out about the real world? What
Yeah.
made you join it? And 12 years of carpentry and joinery, and then just deciding to do something else, that's quite a big leap as well. So if you could go a bit more into that.
Yeah. So I found out about Take Confidential on YouTube about 8 months ago, roughly. Started following that, watching it, and I knew a little bit about Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate before. You know, being from the UK, I've seen the videos, I've seen a little bit about them, and I've always been interested. And I kept watching the videos. I saw Rory and Luke, and I saw how the lives were changing and getting better. And I kept hearing join Hustlers University, and I thought to myself, I'm going to look into this. I want to see what it's about because I I am one of these people where I dive in. I don't listen to what people say. I go from my own personal experience. I was actually a tutor teaching carpentry and joinery prior to joining Hustlers University, and the company I worked for actually dissolved. So whilst I was learning about Amazon in Hustlers University, I actually lost my job, unfortunately. So I fell into kind of difficult times. I had to sell my car. I had to invest money. I think I've invested around £15,000 into starting my business now, which it's a minor setback. You know, it's not a problem. It's done me a world of good. But I was ready to start one business, which would have been Amazon, and instead I had to kind of choose what I wanted to do first. So I set up on my own. I set up my own company doing carpentry and joinery full time. Within about 2 or 3 weeks, I was earning around £250 a day. Whereas prior to that, I was earning around 80 to £100 a day teaching. So the money, it tripled, which is great for me.
hmm And what made you take that step to start your own carpentry and joinery business?
It was actually the advice I got from Thomas Cunningham, TJ Cunningham, the Amazon professor. He knew what I wanted to do. We were in contact in the DMs, and he was very supportive during my particular case. We were in contact just before I lost my job. I was discussing product ideas and getting a private label product up and running. And then I actually messaged him and told him the situation. And it was actually his advice that made me decide to start up my own company. Because if people that know about DJ, he was a carpenter himself before he became an Amazon professor. So I think maybe, him seeing something in me and seeing what I'm trying to do, he pushed me to become self-employed. And it was thanks to him that I did.
hmm And what kind of skills did you learn in the real world that helped you with starting that company?
Okay, so I joined a few different campuses. I started off in the freelancing campus, looking at what Dylan Madden suggests, offering free value and look at yourself as a business rather than an individual. I learned about different kinds of things, how to market myself, how to look at myself. I learned a little bit about copywriting as well, how to structure emails to clients, how to talk to people and things like that. And the advice, like I say, the advice from Thomas, really.
So, from what you learned in the freelancing campus, the copywriting campus, even the Amazon FBA campus, how different is the material in the real world compared to out there on the internet?
The main thing for me is the fact that you get access to millionaire mentors who will talk to you. You don't really find that. You'll see people advertising because just to give a little bit of background, I've wanted to do Amazon for a couple of years. I've watched a lot of videos, I've done a lot of research, and it never really helped. What I needed was somebody where I could see what they're doing and I could learn from them. And what's different about the real world? It's the community, but it's the professors, the real genuine people with a real genuine story, and they're there to help you. They're not hidden behind an assistant or hidden behind a load of emails. They're right there. They offer live AMAs. You can join an event and talk to them for a few hours. You can ask them anything. The people are great. The community is great.
Hmm. And could you go a bit more into the community aspect as well? Did
Yeah,
that have any kind of impact on you?
massively, massively. A lot of the motivation for me came from the win section because the people if they're doing successfully, they are being successful. Sorry, then they get posted in the win section. People support it, and seeing people make like £10,000 in a month for somebody like me that was making less than £2,000 a month, that seemed unreachable. Then when I'm seeing people making 20, 30, £40,000 a month, it motivates you and it makes you realize how possible it is. And this isn't just one. This is every different campus has got these win sections and full of people. And like I say, you've got the professors, and then you've got the apprentices, which are now called the captains. And you've just got so much support. You've got so many people you can turn to and say, "Look, you're successful. How did you get to where you are now?" And that's the greatest thing for me. It's how friendly and helpful people are.
For sure. It's something that would be hard to find such a concentrated amount of people in one
Yeah,
place. Like you wouldn't
yeah,
be able to find
definitely.
that out
Nowhere,
in
no,
the actual world. Yeah.
certainly not for the price that we
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The value for money is incredible.
And would you have an answer for the biggest mistake you made when first starting your company?
Definitely. The biggest mistake I made, and this is just my particular experience, is I was limiting my value. Because I'd just started, I was kind of lowering myself and lowering my worth. And then I spoke to TJ, I spoke to a couple of people, and they were like, "No, don't take less than what you know you're worth just because you're new." Because what I was forgetting is I've got 12 years of experience. Yes, the company's new, but I'm not new. So that was my biggest mistake. I was undervaluing myself.
Mm-hmm. And what would be the three biggest lessons you've learned from your time in the real world?
Okay, so lesson one: look at yourself as a business. I'm not just Dylan. I am my business. I'm 24/7. I'm a walking advertisement for what I do. So that's the biggest mindset change for me. Another one would be to be professional. Think about the way I speak, the way I look, the way I dress, the way I talk to customers and clients, because you never know who could become a potential, business associate. And number three, I would say believing in myself, developing that mindset of I'm going to do this no matter how difficult it is. It might be a tough few weeks, tough couple of months, but businesses are built in the long run. I'm here for a long time, not a short time. I'm here for the long run. And I look at it as I always say this, I look at life as a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm here for the long run.
Mm-hmm. And I know your case is quite unique, but let's say for a 13 to 14-year-old looking to do something similar in terms of starting his own company and making money, do you think that would be possible for them through the real world from what you've seen?
100%. 100%. I've wanted to start a company for years. Around 3 or 4 years ago, I used to think about maybe setting up a company and becoming, a self-employed carpenter joiner. But I hadn't got the confidence. I didn't have the skill set and I didn't have the mindset. And since joining, that has given me all the things I need to become the person I've become.
Hmm. Yep. And now that you're on this trajectory, where do you see your life heading in 6 months to 1 year?
Great places, Rocast, great places. I can see the money slowly stacking. I can see the people sharing my business, the local people in my area that are supporting me. I've got people behind me that are, they want to see me win because people know what I'm doing. Like people know what I'm involved in. People close to me have seen the changes. They've seen the positive impacts that Tate, the Real World Hustles University, and Thomas, they've seen the impact people have had on me, and you can't put a price on that. It's invaluable. The changes that have happened to me, it's been great. And 6 months from now, I'd like to say I'm employing people. I'm taking on much bigger jobs. I've got people working for me or with me, either or. A year from now, I'd like to say I've got a successful carpentry business and a successful Amazon business because once I'm up and running, for a few months and I've got lots of clients, I plan to jump straight back on Amazon. I want to run multiple businesses, and it's because of the inspiration I've got from all the people in the real world and seeing Andrew Tate, his success with all these companies and things he does. That's what inspired me to go, I don't just want to do one thing. I need multiple streams of income. I'm sleeping about 4 or 5 hours a night because all I'm ever doing is thinking, what can I do next? How can I do this? I'm quoting jobs, sending prices, talking to clients.
Great. I really like that. So I'm looking forward to do a follow up later on, see how all of that went.
It'd be
Yeah,
great.
get an update. And to end off, where can people contact you? Maybe they'd like your
Um,
expertise as a carpenter and
you
joiner.
can
So yeah,
you can find me in the real world, at Dill94, and my Instagram is Dylan.Warren94. You can find me on Facebook at Dylan Warren. You'll see my face. You'll know me if you see me. But yeah, brilliant.
great. So again, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know you're very busy to do this, and wish you all the best. And yeah, goodbye.
Thank you. Take care.